There are a lot of NPCs in Elden Ring, some of them being friendly, some of them being hostile, and some of them trying to deceive you. Sir Gideon here checks all three of these marks. At his side he has Nefeli Lu and Insha. Along with that, he has lots of scouting beetles across the entire map. One person that we do not get to see from his little crew is the scout he sends out. Unfortunately, that scout has met its demise at the time of our arrival, by the hands of Rykard. However, it would be very cool if we can actually go inside this character and figure out what they would do if they survived. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be taking control of this scout of Gideon. First of all, some rules for this challenge. As the title suggests, I can only use incantations and sorceries. Second rule I'll be applying to myself, I cannot enter a round table hold until I get the armor set. And my third rule, I cannot kill any main bosses until I go to round table hold. However, this doesn't mean that I can't go to the areas of these main bosses. I can still go to Rykard's thing and fight the Godskin Noble. I can still go to Octus Plateau, fight a Godskin Apostle, or any other strong bosses within these areas. Anyways, with all of the way, let's hop right into this challenge. We'll start off with the Prophet class, and after customizing our character, we'll jump off a cliff right into an grave. After that, we'll meet up with Melania, who'll give us our horse, and collect some various items, and make a guy fall off a cliff. Melania was so impressed that she tried to take us to Round Table Hold. However, we refused, and since I do not have anything that causes bleed, Grail is saved from early death. Instead, we'll try to take on the Putrid Avatar. With us having fire, it should be relatively easy. After that, we'll go around Stormveil Castle, grab our little staff, and go to the mines to get some upgrade material for our actual staff. After taking the lift to Octus Plateau, we get the Golden Order Seal, with skills with both intelligence and faith. And after upgrading it, we deal with some miniature bosses just to get some extra levels and some extra stuff for the Godskin Noble. Our first attempt went very poorly. However, our second attempt went a little bit better. We were able to sleep him while he was mid-roll, and do some cheeky catch flames on him while he was still asleep. However, he didn't like it, and instantly woke up into finishing his roll. After that, we get stuck on the little throne of the room, which, luckily, we didn't die quite yet. However, he finishes us off with a roll, and then he rolls on us again in the third attempt and killing us. In our fourth attempt, we finally get him. We are able to make him roll into two pillars, catching him on fire with Catch Flame while he was doing it, and winning against the Godskin Noble. Once we get done with the Noble, we can take the teleporter to Rykard's boss room. There we will grab our main piece of armor and dip out to Kaylee and buy the rest of the set. After that, we'll have Melania teleport us to Round Table Hold and inform Gideon of what has happened. He is glad that we are not dead. We are a very valuable asset to him. However, he is still slightly annoyed that Rykard wasn't defeated. But there's no time for that, as Godric has a vulnerability that Gideon found. One sneaky little agent that he has inside of his castle. If we get to him, we can ensure Godric's defeat. I take him up on his lead, and I go over to Stormveil Castle. Just as I was about to enter Stormveil Castle, we get ambushed by Margit the Fell, who has somehow overheard our intentions and has come to put our foolish ambitions to rest. However, for Margit, he is unaware that I have a +9 seal and Catch Flame. We deal with him pretty easily. After we deal with Margit, we run up to the gate of Stormveil, only to notice it open. This must be the agent that Gideon mentioned. Without any hesitation, we go in, only to get shot. We head straight over to Godfrey and challenge him to a fight. Godfrey may be the lord of all that is golden, and the last member of the royal line. However, he does not stand a chance against the lord of catching these. I honestly didn't know what I was doing with this joke. I just thought it'd be funny. We deal with him pretty easily. We return to Gideon, informing him of the death of Godfrey the Golden. He was very pleased. With only one more great rune to go, he's allowed me to go after any known demigods that I desire. And he's given me the information of each one of these known demigods.
General Radahn, the famed Red Lion and Scourge of the Stars, is a ferocious warrior. He fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds to Limgrave's east. And by my reckoning, Radahn remains there, even now. Though, I doubt he much resembles his former self anymore. Praetor Rykard is the lord of the Volcano Manor on Mount Gelmir. He is a ruthless justiciar who commands a company of inquisitors, reviled for his serpentine demeanor. The volcano, Mount Gelmir, lies in the west of the Altus Plateau, the realm of the Erd Tree. It was the stage of the most appalling battle in the entirety of the Shattering. Rykard has committed the grave sin of blasphemy, marking himself as an enemy never to be forgiven. The Academy of Rea Lucaria lies to Limgrave's north, towering over the mist-laden lands of Liurnia. Rennala is queen of the Carian royals, who govern the Academy, but Rennala herself is no demigod. Her beloved Radagon left her to become Queen Marika's second husband, taking the title of King Consort. The Great Rune dwells within the Amber Egg that was Radagon's gift to her. Morgoth the Grace-Given is Lord of Leyndell, the capital city. It lies at the foot of the Erd Tree, in the east of the Altus Plateau. But the Two Fingers forbid us from venturing there, until we've acquired enough great runes to repair the Elden Ring. Set your sights elsewhere for the time being. The Veiled Monarch can wait.
After doing Vari's quest line and jumping off a cliff to get some levels, we go after Radahn. We're choosing Radahn because his death will lead us to the Prince of Death's staff, which works with intelligence and faith. The key staff to this build. And since we're going to be fighting Radahn, we summon all the allies to take all the punishment for us. They'll do all the work, and we get all the glory, just like Gideon would. After his death, we go down to the pits and fight the gargoyle duo. After they're defeated, we go through a waterfall, all the way to tippy top to the Death Roots. And then it's there we find our staff. We try to tell Rennala about her son's death, but the Red Wolf of Radagon is just an excited boy and we have to neuter him. Rennala was not very pleased with us neutering her dog and tries to attack us. However, we defeat her. We then finally get our revenge on Rykard. And then we jump across some buildings in Leyndell, Melania dips, we defeat the Golden Shade of Godfrey, and we fight Morgoth. Morgoth is not necessarily a difficult boss. However, he's a small telltale of things to come later. After we defeat him, we go up to the tree, and to our horror, we see impenetrable thorns. With this news, we go back to Gideon. We both were confused. We didn't know what to do. We tried suggesting burning down the tree, but we do not know where that necessarily be at. Gideon suggests that we go talk to Ranni, see if she knows anything about this. To our surprise, she knew exactly what we're talking about. Almost like if she planned the entire thing. She made a trade offer to us, for us to get the finger-slaying blade to her. In return, we would get the royal medallion, which would take us to the Forge of the Giants. There, we could burn the Erd Tree. I depart on to the way at Nokron to find this finger-slaying blade. While I was at Nokron, Gideon has sent Nefeli and Insha to the Upnorth village. To Nefeli's horror, she saw her father's true intentions, the slaughter of the Upnorth people.
Well, what do you make of it? What's happened to this village? I witnessed a sight much the same in my infancy. The oppression of the weak. Murder and pillage unchecked. A waking nightmare, made by men.
Nefeli refused to continue on, however, Insha did, seeing an old man and killing him, and finally finding the medallion that Gideon searched so hard to get. The one that can lead to concentrated snowfields. After making my deal with Ranni, I returned to Gideon, only to figure out that Nefeli has betrayed Gideon.
You've already heard. Indeed. It seemed the whelp harbored suspicions, so I had no further use for her. Honestly, what's a man to do?
We go through the concentrated snowfield, a harsh place because of the blizzard. However, we are able to find a small village. After dispelling all the locks and everything, we come across a teleporter. We take the teleporter and it leads us to Mikola's Halo tree. After a bit of running around, we come across the base of the Halo tree. And we need to run out some more, until we finally meet Melania. Melania is usually a difficult hurdle inside these challenges. However, this time it went very, very smoothly, with us using 2 spells that directly counter her ability to dodge them. For her first phase, and keeping her inside water for most of it, by running away, we will be spamming Hone Bolt, which tracks her current location, which means if she's trying to dodge, it will still hit her. And after she goes into her second phase, we'll stay back and use Night Comet, never trying to get hit or never trying to get close to her, always keeping our distance and making sure we are safe. With all this, we beat Melania first try. With my confidence through the roof after defeating Melania, we go try to take on Moog. However, he puts me in my place. But we defeat him second try. The fire giant this time around was super easy and barely an inconvenience. We defeat him on our first attempt. It is then that we reach the top of the mountaintops, the Forge of the Giants. From what Ranni has told us, it requires a sacrifice for this forge to light up. As the brave scout as I am, I offer myself, and Gideon starts reading from the passages. As the forge lit up, in a surprising turn of events, the flame stuck to Gideon. As he burned, he tripped and fell inside the forge. I then awaken in a mysterious land, full of floating rubble and dragons. Very confused if I was alive or dead. I rush over, trying to figure out where I am. We then run into the beast clergyman, who claims thou shalt approach destined death, and he will not have it stolen from him again. He then instantly starts attacking us. I'm unsure what this destined death is, but if it could burn the Erd Tree and allow us inside the tree, I will gladly take it from him. The battle commenced. Neither one of us wanting to give in. And after a good bit, we force him onto his knees, only for him to stab himself and reveal to be Malekith, the shadow of a queen. The battle continued, him trying to hit us with death and death, trying to permanently delete us from this world, as we kept our distance and made sure we didn't get hit. After a good back and forth, we defeat him and unleash death and death upon the world. We wake up completely covered in sand. We look up, see the Erd tree burning and Lindell completely destroyed. We make our way to the Erd tree, only to see Gideon, our master. However, while he was being burned alive inside the forge, he must have had a change of heart.
I knew you'd come to stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. What a sad state of affairs. I commend your spirit, but alas, none shall take the throne. Queen Marika has high hopes for us, that we continue to struggle unto eternity.
I was in complete shock. Not only was Gideon alive, but he was also preaching heresy. After everything we've been through, after killing the demigods and taking back the runes that they'd have, following the guidance of Queen Marika herself, he is standing here, telling me that all of this was for nothing. It caused us to argue, and in a violent turn of events, I initiate the first swing. Trying to beat Gideon at his own game is a very hard task. Not only does he do more damage than us, he also has infinite mana. However, we persevered, and after a long battle, we end up on top.
In my bones, a tarnished cannot become alone. Not even you. A man cannot kill a god.
With Gideon dead, the title of the All-Knowing was available. I gladly accept it, and proceed towards the Erd tree, only to find Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, there. And with grace pointing at him, and his grace pointing towards me, we both knew this was going to be a fight. Without any hesitation, we both charge in. Him trying to close the gap, and me trying to maintain the gap. It was a footsies of back and forth. However, with one lucky spell, we force him down onto his knees. In anger, he kills his pet Sarash, and becoming Horalu warrior. He then charges at us bare fists, and he's able to get a few grabs on us. However, we are very durable, and we survive. Getting right back up, and continuing to maintain our distance. Eventually, we succeed in killing the first Elden Lord. He compliments us with saying,
Thy strength befits a crown.
as soon as we enter the Erd tree, we see Marika being crucified. We try to help her, but as soon as we take a step towards her, it shatters, and she falls onto the ground. With Radagon forcing control, he grabs the hammer and starts to attack us. However, we unleash Melania's Scarlet Rot and use a variety of spells to take him down. As soon as Radagon is defeated, the whole floor becomes a dark liquid. And coming from this dark liquid, a hand grabs Radagon's corpse and pushes it into the ground. Then emerges a sword, and with it finally revealing itself, the Elden Beast. It looks down upon us, and the fight continues. The back and forth of this was actually very, very cool. It almost got us like 1 or 2 times, but the perfect dodging and everything like that was very, very on point. But in the end, we defeat him, and we become Elden Lord in the Age of Knowledge. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please help it out by leaving a like and a comment. As usual, I'm be showing off the stats and everything of this build, so that way if you want to try to replicate it yourself and see if you have any luck, you can go ahead and try it for yourself. You do keep in mind that I have Godfrey's Great Rune active, so all of my stats right now are getting +5s to everything. Anyways, without further ado, thank you all for watching, and have a good day.